Hello guys and welcome to episode number 52, where we'll be solving 5 more SQL problems, this time from ESPN right here. So let's get started with problem number 1. We have to find the year right here, the year in which shortest athlete participated. Shortest athlete, clearly a filter. We have to output the year and the corresponding height. Basically we have to find the row where we find the shortest athlete and then we have to show the year. So let's get started here. Select from our basic start point here. We're going to select the year and then we want to show, what do we want to show? We want to show the height somewhere, height. Now we have to filter and find the lowest. So we're going to say where the height equals. So I'm going to use a subquery minimum height from our table right here. And this should be the final result. And there we go, 2016. 146 centimeters, I suppose. So quick recap here. We want to show the year and the height, where height of that player equals to the minimum. Right here you can see we only check for the minimum height from the entire table. If the current height of the row equals with the minimum height of the entire table. Problem number 2. We have to find colleges that produce the most NFL players. We have to output the college name and the player count right here. We have 2 columns to output. Lastly, we want to order based on player count in descending. And now here they're informing us about the filter. Players that have not drafted have zeros in pick round. We want everything that's not a 0 in pick round. Now they mention have zeros in pick round. So let's check out how it looks. And right here, pick round, it seems it's just one number. So it's easy actually. We just have to filter for it to not be 0. So let's get started here. Select from, we're going to put our table and let's see what we have to output. Colleges, we have to output colleges. Right here we have a field called college and the player count. So we're going to count the distinct number of players. We're going to use the name here, name of the player. I'm going to say num players. Now our filter is where pick round is different than 0 and we have to order by the number of players in descending order. And here we have to do for every college. So we're going to say group by college and this should be the final solution. And there we go. So quick recap, what we are doing here, we are doing for every college where the pick round is different than 0. We want to simply count the number of different players. And lastly, we want to order these players based on the player count from the highest to the smallest. Problem number 3, we have to find the number of athletes participated in each Olympic season. Group by each Olympic season, find the number of athletes. We have to output the season with corresponding number of athletes. Very simple, this one. You have to group by the season here and then find the number of athletes. Select from, let's put our table here, Olympic athlete events, output season. Let's group by season. We're going to say select season, group by season. That part is done. Now we have to count the number of athletes. And this table seems one row is an event. So we have to actually go in here and get the different names. Count distinct people names. And we're going to call it number athletes. And this should be actually the final result. There we go. There are 2 seasons and the summer one is far more popular. So quick recap here. For every season, we want to simply count the number of different athletes. Problem number 4, we have to find how many athletes competing in football gold medals. We have 2 filters. We have to group by NOC and the gender. Then we have to output NOC, the gender, and number of athletes. So we have to output 3 columns. And lastly, we want to sort, right here, we want to sort by the NOC, the gender, and the number of athletes in ascending order. 2 group bys, 3 sorts, 3 columns, 2 filters. Okay, let's get started. Select from how many won by, we have to output the NOC right here. Then we put the gender, and we also group by these. Now we have to find the count of athletes. Well, it's the same data set, so we're just going to say, just like before, count of distinct names, call it number of athletes. Now here we have to order by NOC, gender, and the number of athletes ascending order. Now we have to put our filters. We have two filters where medal equals gold and this one football, probably sport. Let's try like this, sport equals football. And this should be the final solution. There we go. We have here 3 countries and that looks like very lame, the data set, but seems to be a correct solution. So for every country, NOC is basically a country code. For every country and gender here, we want to find the count of the different players, athletes, where the medal is gold and the sport is football. Well, that's why the data set's so limited, because we have 2 filters. Then we want to order by the country, the gender, and the number in this specific order. And problem number 5, guys, last one for today. We want to find the median age of gold medal winners across Olympics. Now this looks very simple, right? We have to find the median age. So you might think, I'm pretty sure this is a trap. You might think it's like, oh, median age. Well, we have to find the average age across the table where we have the filter, where medal equals gold, right? So then we would get 28.42, right? But that is the average. The median, that's not how the median works. Let's say we have here, imagine these are numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers, right? The median actually is literally this number here, the one in the middle. It's not like average, you sum them up and divide by their numbers. You take literally the middle one. And in case we have, for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, here we don't have a middle. We have to pick these 2 and then calculate the average of these 2. And that would represent the median. So in MySQL, sadly, there is no median function. We have to be creative here. And one way we can do this is by ranking the ages. We want to rank the ages, not on a number, but on a percentage from 0 to 100. And then we only want to look for the value that is at 50%. So let's get started here. We're going to select the age and now we want to rank it. And we can't use the rank function or the dense rank or anything else. We have to use %rank, this window function, and then everything else just normal. We have to order by the age. And we're going to call this RNK. And we're going to put our filter here where medal equals gold. Now, if we run just the code like this, you see 19 represents 0.02. And also we have nulls. We actually don't want that because it's going to skew our percentage here. So we're going to filter for age is not null. There we go. So age 19 is at 0.0%. Age 20 is at 0.02%. That would be 2.2%. And now if we scroll here, we can see that the value with 50% is 27. So that's the middle of the data set. And the highest would be 53, which has a value of 1. So now all we want to do is, because we have duplicates, we want the distinct values here, and we just want to filter for 0.5. So we're going to transform this in a CTE so we can clearly select later. We're going to select the age, the distinct age from CTE where RNK equals to 0.5. And there you go. We have our final answer, which is 27 right here. So quick recap, in this table up here, we are simply ranking the age only where the medal is gold. And we don't want, it's very important the age to not be null in this case, because it will really skew our results, our ranking. And the way we are doing this ranking is based on the percentage right here. So from 0.0, it starts 0.0, goes to 1.00. From 0% to 100%. And we are doing it based on the age in ascending order. Since we are not mentioning ascending or descending, the default value is ascending. And down here, we want to select just the different ages. We don't want duplicates. And we want the middle value, which would be 0.5. And since we don't specify other digits, this would be 0.5000 to infinity. Exactly 0.5. So that was it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed these kinds of problems, I highly encourage you to join the StrataScratch community. Consider using the affiliate link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.